what's up, ladies and gentle-tubers? It is Tyler. Welcome back to the eveRide channel, and it is that time of year again for the annual tradition of the gRADitudes. And I know I'm a little bit late for Thanksgiving Day, but these are things that I've been grateful for all year, and for the last year, for the last several years in most cases, and there's really no expiration on being grateful for those things. So anyway, I released a gRADitudes video last year, and at the risk of sounding ungrateful, I could basically say ditto to all that stuff this year. My family and I have been so blessed by the support of this community and by the many awesome friendships within it. There have been a lot of mornings that I wake up really excited to host a rally, and I think, is this really my life? And it is, and I haven't forgotten that it's because of you. You, whether you donate or use links or just turn off the ad blocker or just watch, that any of this is possible. I'm attempting to keep this just a little bit shorter than the last one, and it's kind of hard because there are a lot of people who deserve to be mentioned by name, and many of those people were in the last year's video, and they just continue to be amazing. And I'm doing something a little bit different at the end of this year's video, though, so I want to keep things kind of brief. I'm sorry that I can't mention everybody by name. The video would be enormous because there's so many people who've made a huge difference in my life. But I hope that I've adequately expressed my gratitude in more personal ways to all of you who have helped so much. Anyway, this year the backdrop is a little highlight reel from some of the weekender rallies that I was very grateful to be a part of. First of all, I'm grateful for my wife, and I know she's on the list every year, but seriously, you guys, she is amazing. She totally stepped up this year and has been a huge support and a driving force to get me help when I became really depressed at times, and she's been really proactive on checking in with me on things when things get pretty dark. Not only that, but she has taken on the enormous task of planning and organizing and all the logistics for the weekender rallies, which is a lot of work. She handles all the communications, that's like hundreds of emails and questions and phone calls, and she takes all of the food and drink and snack requests and goes out of her way to make sure the guests are comfortable and well fed. She takes care of the moto mansion and keeps it just sparkling clean, which isn't easy after, a group of sweaty dudes have just spent a weekend playing in the dirt. She's basically in charge of all of it, and she makes it so nice that I just basically show up and ride and film. And so she is just amazing. But not only that, but she continues to be a wonderfully supportive mother to our kids. And I'm so thankful to you guys that Jess and I get to more or less be stay-at-home parents with our rad kiddos. Kids can be pretty hard, and I'm always impressed with her patience and love, and I continually feel that I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Okay, so next are the producers and the patrons and the people who support the channel in other ways. I know it probably gets old at the end of every video and in last year's gRADitudes video, but I really can't thank you guys enough. The producers contribute just a few bucks a month, and because they do that, I'm free to be 100% honest in my reviews. I can be my nerdy and sometimes unstable emotional self in my videos, and even though they get a say in the content that I produce, I still get to operate pretty much totally independently. So if you enjoy any of the videos that I upload, then thank a producer, because it's them who keeps this whole insane operation running. And this year I've loved the messages that you guys have sent, getting to know you guys, finding out what's going on in your lives, and developing some truly wonderful friendships. And I love hearing about your adventures in the producers group, even though sometimes I kind of lag a little bit getting back to stuff. So thank you for your patience when I suck at life. The next thing is, I'm extremely grateful for the people who have actually given the weekenders and micro rallies a chance. That's kind of a new thing here. Our goal was to make a weekend rally that anybody could come to, that doesn't take a whole lot of days off of work, that includes all the food, lodging, filming, riding, headset rental, the shirts and earbuds, and a bunch of other perks and stuff, and then make it cost about the same price as like a decent hotel in town for that same weekend. To most people, it seems kind of crazy to go spend a weekend in a remote Utah town with a clinically depressed Mormon stranger from the internet, and then riding to remote desert areas and sleeping in his basement with 5 other strangers from the internet. But that is exactly what happens, and it seems pretty awesome to me, but that's just kind of my opinion. But they must be okay with it because a few crazy people are coming back for more. In fact, a big part of the bookings this year are people who have already come out last year. So thank you guys. And if you haven't come out, I would love to see you out here. I'm enormously thankful for the people who use the links at everrideadv.com and check out my Amazon recommended gear when they shop online. That has been the cornerstone of my business from the time that I went full-time doing this, and it'll be a cornerstone far into the future. It might not seem like a huge sacrifice to use those links, but it still takes up your time, and that means a lot to my family and I, so thank you. Finally, and I'm keeping this short, but finally is my dad-in-law. And I know it's kind of weird to be super grateful for in-laws, but my dad-in-law, Ramon, is one of my heroes. And he's been through some pretty gnarly stuff in his life. He's taken a lot of risky adventures and managed to survive them all. And I don't mean like, survive them like you survive some easy thing. I mean like literally he's been in some dicey situations, including some early scary trips to Africa. And he's gone through cancer and major heart surgeries and back surgeries and a lot of physical and emotional pain. And even then, somehow this summer, he and my wife and I, but mainly he and my wife, landscaped our entire yard. And that is not easy work. So Ramon has been a fantastic example of charity and love and kindness and just a pillar of strength through a lot of adversity. He's always been supportive and patient with family, and he's an excellent example of somebody who shows unconditional love. He's the kind of guy who will straighten you out if you need it because he's like 6'8" or something, but the thing is whether you listen or not, he'll still love you and show you kindness. Anyway, one reason why I wanted to keep this short is because we're doing something a little different, and there's a little story involved. So here's the thing. I kind of have a history with water and motorcycles and stuff. My most dangerous motorcycle adventures haven't been because of a cliff or an accident or riding some sketchy terrain, but always because I have run out of water. And in the past, I've had to drink contaminated water, which resulted in getting cryptosporidium, and which is terrible. And just recently, Jess and I were on a we were very lucky to go on our first vacation with just the two of us in 10 years. And we were able to go to Mexico earlier this month. And that was amazing. But we must have had some bad water because we both got really sick. And just like you get really grateful for the ability to walk after you haven't been able to walk for a while, I've become really grateful for clean and safe water. So, as coincidence would have it, Ramon, my dad-in-law, has been working with his old friend Glenyon in Liberia, Africa through wholives.org, whose mission is to provide inexpensive, sustainable, human-powered drills to create wells for impoverished villages in Africa and kind of all around the world. Now, the coolest part about this and these wells are that they're run by the communities who maintain the wells, which reduces disease and boosts the local economies and provides greater opportunities for education and a ton more stuff. It's something that many of us, especially in the States, just totally take for granted. But if we didn't have it, think of how critical it is to have local access to clean, safe water. And how prosperous would you be if hours of your day were spent fetching water, and then the water that you had to fetch made you sick? One of the coolest things about these drills is they cost about the same as like an upscale adventure motorcycle. So that means that multiple drill sites and multiple wells and potentially thousands of people getting access to clean water and changing their lives, all for the price of a pretty nice motorcycle. And if you tack on another motorcycle, then you fund and employ the team who drills the wells and teaches the communities how to use them, which is huge. Anyway, we all have a huge amount to be grateful for, and I'd like to help pay that forward in whatever small way that I can. And this year, I would like to help Ramon to help people who he lived with and served and who he loves in East Africa. So here's the thing, I don't have a ton of money, but I really believe in this, and it really, really, really stinks not to have clean water and to get sick like that. So I'm going to match your donation up to the amount that I get paid for a video on Patreon. That's $733. And if you're a patron, then count it that you've already donated, because the money that I'm making from Patreon this month will go to wholives.org to match that contribution. So you can donate directly to wholives.org, which is awesome. It's an awesome worldwide project. But I'd like to encourage you to donate directly to Ramon's project through wholives.org, which will focus directly on communities within rural Liberia. So you guys, we have so much to be grateful for, and it would be awesome if this year, where we have a strong economy and low unemployment and lots of good things going on here for us in the U.S. Basically, if you own a motorcycle and ride for pleasure, then you're probably doing okay in life, and it would be awesome to pay just a little bit of that forward to help these communities to drill and build and learn to maintain these clean water wells that provide so many people with such a basic human need. So all of the info that you need, including the links and a number to text to donate to the Who Lives Liberia project, are in the description below. So please check that out, and let's help change a little part of the world for the better. Thank you guys so much for all that you've done for me this year. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments and your support. Much love. eveRide out.